Srinivas. He is an industrial engineer by qualification, and he is currently working as an associate director in business AI for LTM. He is a lifelong student of Hindu anthology of scriptures with keen interest in Sanskrit wordplay and exploration, and your friendly PBEL neighbor for the last 1 decade, and he conducts online interactive sessions on Bhagavad Gita, Artha Chintan during weekends. So today he would be covering, 3 topics. One is reason why avatar were necessary and how the avatars came, and after that Gopi Geetam and Narayan Kavacham recitation. And we would like all of you also to participate in the recitation. Thank you.
धन्यवाद प्रीति माताजी. Jai Jagannath. We have very few people in the audience. Just try to be participative. We will all learn a little bit today. We will all chant Srimad Bhagavatam as little as we can, but we will put our best effort. Jai Jagannath. Nobody is fasting, so nobody is doing Mauna Vrat. That's a gladdening thing. Hari Om. Om Yo Vipralamba Viparidamati Prabhuta Vada Nirasya Kritavan Bhuvi Tattvavadam Sarveshwaro Haririti Pratipadayantam Anandatita Munivaryamaham Namami Narayanaya Paripurna Gunarnavaya Vishvodaya Stitilayo Niyati Pradaya Jnana Pradaya Vibudha Surasaukya Dukha Satkaranaya Vitataya Namo Namaste Narayanam Suragurum Jagadekanatham Bhaktapriyam Sakalaloka Namaskritancha Traiguണ്यवर्जितमजं विभुमाद्यमीशं वन्दे भवग्नममरा सुरसिद्धवन्द्यं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ॐ जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्. We just chanted the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. The shloka begins with a nice meter. It's called the Shardula Vikridita. Shardula means a cat, a wild cat, tiger. Vikridita means a playful prowl. Shardula Vikridita is such a nice beginning where Maharshi Vedavyas, we call him, or Bhagavan Vedavyas, we call him. He launches this Mahakavya, Srimad Bhagavata, like a cat on the prowl, like a wild cat on the prowl. The beginning of this Grantha begins. So this meter, Shardula Vikridita, 19 letters, 19 syllables each. The way we need to chant it is 12 plus 7. Like Bhikshandehi Kripavalambanakari Mata Napurneshwari. 12 on one side, 7 on the other side. Udyadbhanu Sahasra Koti Sadrisham Keyuraharo. Similarly, Janmadhyasya Yatonvayadi Taratash Charteshva Vijnaswarat. You will all try. I will chant the first 12, follow after I do. Then I will chant the 7. Please follow after I do. That way we complete the 19. And we go for all the 4 lines. Jai Jagannath. Janmadhyasya yatonvayadi taratash. Janmadhyasya yatonvayadi taratash. Charteshvabhinyaswarat. Tene brahmahridaya adikavaye.
Tene brahmaya hridaya adi kavyamaye.
Muhyanti yatsurayah.
Muyanti.
Tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo त्रिसर्गो मृषा
यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा
धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तु कुहकम्
धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम्
सत्यं परं धीमहि
सत्यं परं धीमहि
सत्यं परं धीमहि.
सत्यं परं धीमहि.
Just that last one line, Satyam Param Dhimahi, that's the introduction. Satyam Param Dhimahi.
सत्यं परं धीमहि.
Jai Shri Krishna. That means, उस परम सत्य को ध्यान करें. Let us contemplate on that Parama Satya. Who's that Parama Satya? Janmadi Asya. Asya Samsarasya. इस संसार का जो जन्मादि कार्य विरचित है, all the activities that have happened on this samsar, like all the janmadi means janma comes, minute after janma comes sthiti, sustenance of life, and after sthiti comes laya, marana, in between comes vriddhi, abhivriddhi. Whenever there is abhivriddhi, there is apakshiya, there is fall. In between sthiti, janma, marana, there is parinama, there is change. We can't have maintenance called sthiti without parinama happening. There is a constant change happening. Janmadi is basically 6 polar opposite actions of this samsara, of which Bhagavan is the niyamaka. Janmadi asya samsarasya yataha. From whom all these janmadi activities are happening. From whom the janma happens, srishti happens, from whom marana happens, laya happens, from whom sthiti happens, the maintenance happens, from whom the abhivriddhi happens, from whom the apakshiya happens, from whom the parinama happens. Parinamiyate, we call it. There are 6 different Vashatkara. In the Vishnu Sahasranama, we call it as Om Vishnu Vashatkara. Shatkara, there are 6 activities. जन्मादि अस्य संसारस्य यतः तम सत्यम परम धीमहि, उस सत्य परम को ध्यान करें जिससे इस संसार की जन्मादि क्रियाएं उत्पन्न हुआ हो रही. Please apologize my Hindi. It's always good to get the meaning of every Sanskrita grantha through any Bharatiya bhasha. Unfortunately, we all go behind English. Have you learned? That's the first thing we all go for. Have you studied the Bhagavata? We have an English translation. Can you please suggest a good English translation? We have come down to that viparyasa, that kind of a travesty, where we seek an English language to be a via medium to learn our own language called Sanskrit. The Sanskrit called the Bharati. We call Sanskrit as the Bharati. She is flowing in every Bharatiya Bhasha. We all, by the virtue of speaking any one Bharatiya Bhasha, we all know Sanskrit. Now, how much we know, nobody knows. There is no end to how much we can learn Sanskrit. There is endless. There is a lexicon, endless lexicon called Amara Kosha. Endlessly it goes. Number of words we can accumulate in our word play is endless. But all of us know, by the virtue of being a Bharatiya, by having a mother tongue which is Bharatiya, we all know. So please apologize my Hindi upfront. I'm not a native Hindi speaker. But because it's Samskrita, we are all familiar. I am connected to Samskrita through Kannada. And because of Samskrita, we are all connected to every Bharatiya Bhasha. Keep aside the mother tongue influence in all of our languages. We all can speak Samskrita. So, Janmadi Asya Samsarasya Yataha. Jis Satya Param, from which Satya Para, this Janmadi Kriyas of the Samsara have taken place. Let's contemplate on him. Dhimahi tam param satyam dhimahi. Janmadi asyaton yataha anvayat dhimahi. The contemplation of Bhagavan is not very direct. Oh, this is Bhagavan, let's contemplate on him. We have to do samanvaya, reconciliation. There is a lot of reconciliatory skill that we need to invoke within ourselves to understand the Bhagavad Tattva. Anvayat dhimahi. Itaratah. Anvayat itaratah. And through other means. Anvaya is one, but we can also have anubhava. Bhagavan is very much in the touchy-feely world. The minute we open the receptors, Bhagavan definitely comes into the realm of the touchy-feely world. Itarataha, not just Anvaya, not just the Buddhi Yoga, not just applying our, the people say that let's get into the Jnana Yoga and then we will endlessly contemplate on Bhagavan. No, Bhagavan is not just through that. Bhagavan, of course, comes through the Anumana in the Buddhi Yoga, but Bhagavan also comes in our day-to-day experiences. Whenever we feel love, whenever we feel a nice bhava, that's Bhagavat Avir Bhava directly coming and blessing us. So itarataha also dhimahi, right? Janmadi asya, samsarasya, yataha, from whom Janmadi kriyas have come forward. From Anvaya, Anvaya of the day-to-day transactions, Anvaya of the Shastra Grantha, Shastra Yoni. That's how the Brahma Sutra begins. Brahma Sutra begins with these exact lines. The first line of Brahma Sutra is basically the commentaries, the first commentaries on the Veda. Vedas are very cryptic. Veda Vyasa, his first contribution was Vyasa. He distributed the big corpus, omnibus corpus called the Vedas. He put them into 4 different buckets. He called one set of Riks as Rig Veda, one set of Riks as Yajus Veda, one set of Riks as Sama Veda, one set of Riks as Atharva Veda. So what are they? Like how we, whenever we study English, we need to have some segmentation, right? We can't just generally study English. There is prose and poetry. The minute we go to any language study, we don't generally study that language. We study the prose and the poetry. So there is prose and poetry in the Vedic corpus also. The prose was Yajus, all the textual, the heavy dose of textual work in the prose called Yajus. Then the poetry. The poetry also has twofold. There is rhythmic poetry, Sama, Sangita, and there is a hymn, kind of a hymnical kind of a poetry, which is a Rik. Like all of this, Gayatri, all of them come in the Riks, right? The 3 Padas, Tripadis, and all of them come in the Rig Veda. Anushtup, Brihati, Trishtup, lot of these different meters that come into play in the Rig Veda. So he separated them into Rig, Yajus, Sama. That's how we have the categorization. In the Mula Veda, which was one single corpus, the Mula Veda had those. Rig, the Rigs were there, the Yajus were there, the Samas were there. They were ancient. From time immemorial, like in English language, the concept of prose and poetry were there from time immemorial. Maybe 100 years ago, our treatment to the subject became very focused on, okay, let's study prose on one side, let's study the poetry on one side. So Vedavyasa, the first thing that he did was the Mula Veda, which was one single omnibus corpus. He divided them into 4 parts. All the Riks were consolidated into one section called the Rig Veda. All the Yajus were consolidated and put into one section called the Yajur Veda. All the Samas were consolidated and put into another corpus called the Sama Veda. And all the things that came from one single Rishi Parampara, Atharva, which also had the Riks and the Yajus and the Samas. But like how in English we call as Shakespearean English, it is given a special treatment. So all the things coming from that one particular Rishi Parampara, these Paramparas are not the creators. They are called the Drashtas. Even during the Pralaya Kala, the Vedas are being disseminated. They are coming out. From the Kantha of Bhagavan is what we say. When we Santatam Chintayet Kantam, Bhasvat Kaustubha Bhasakam, when you have to think of the Akara, the different Avayavas, the different body parts of the Bhagavan, the Kantha is Udgiryante Anisham Yataha. Vaikuntasyakilam Vedaha, all the Vedas are constantly coming from the Kantha of this Bhagavan. Even during Pralaya Kala, Bhagavan and Durga Devi are constantly disseminating the Vedas during that time. So Vedas are not created. These rishis that we see in the Riks and the Samas and the Yajus and the Atharva, they are the Drashtas. They were the ones who realized it. They were the ones who saw it. They were always flowing around. So from that Rishi Parampara, whatever we got, he put them into the Atharva Veda. So he distributed the Vedas. Then accordingly, he also set up the Gotra Parampara, Gam Trayate, the ones who protect the custodians of these Vedas. They became the Gotras, a different Rishimani Parampara that started protecting them. So that's the first thing that Vedavyasa did. Because the Vedas were under threat, misinterpretations, being abused through prakshiptas and things like that, he had to protect them. That's the first thing he did. Second thing he did was he wrote the Mahabharata. He gave us the Mahabharata. Mahabharata in such a way that Mahabharata is also a Vyakhya of the Vedas. To understand Bhagavad Tattva, that's why it's called Jaya, victory of the Bhagavad Avirbhava. Whenever the Bhagavan comes down on the planet, we call it Jayanti, because that's where the victory comes. Mahabharata used to be called Jaya, Tato Jaya Mudiraye, that's how we start Mahabharata. See, he composed Mahabharata, the Itihasa, in such a way that the Vedic lines are constantly seen all through the Itihasa Grantha. That's one way of preserving the Vedas. Then he wrote a commentary on the Vedas called Brahma Sutra. All to do with Veda, all about protecting the Veda. He also wrote 18 Puranas, 17 before this one. This was the last one. The Srimad Bhagavata Purana was the final one that he wrote. The 17 Puranas before this were also composed with the view of explaining the concept of the Vedas. That's why in the Mahabharata we hear that. Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedaha Samupa Brahmed. It's through the lens of the Itihasas and Puranas that we need to really understand the crux of the Vedas. Vedas cannot be just learned like the first line in the Rig Veda. Agnimi Ede Purohitam Yajnasadeva Mritvijam. There is no literal meaning of it. We have to really understand the meaning behind them. Nirukta, the etymology behind the word need to be understood. So that's why Mahabharata came, Purana came. In the Brahma Sutra, the first line is Athato Brahma Jijnasa. Let's understand Brahma. That's how the Vedic Vyakhya called Brahma Sutra begins by let's explore the concept called Brahma. Let's understand what this concept of Brahma is. After launching ourselves saying that let's understand the concept called Brahma, the very next sutra is this. Janmadhyasya yataha om. That's the second sutra. Tattu Shastra Yonitvat om. That's the third sutra. Shastra. Shastreshu Abhijnaswarat. We hear that somewhere here. Artheshu Abhijnaswarat. Shastra Yonitvat om. Tattu Samanvayat om. Brahma Sutra. All of these are Brahma Sutra lines. The first line that we see in the Bhagavata are all coming from Brahma Sutras. The rishis are also chanting that. Let's understand that Brahma who is in conformance with what the Brahma Sutras say. And Brahma Sutras are, like Vedavyasa has given testimony to Brahma Sutra in the Bhagavad Gita also. The 13th chapter, Brahma Sutraihi Padaischaiva Hetu Madhir Vinishchitaihi, something like that he says. In the 13th chapter, to understand the Bhagavad Tattva, it has to be through Brahma Sutra. In a way, in this Grantha also, he is giving a testimony saying that let's understand Bhagavan through the Brahma Sutra. The one who, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye, Tene means he imparted, the one who imparted. Let's understand, let's Dhimahi, Stam Satyam Param Dhimahi, who Brahma Hrida, for the Hrit of Brahma, Chaturmaka Brahma, the one who created this entire thing, right? That Adikavi Brahma, to him who imparted the knowledge. The one who imparted, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. Muhyanti Yam Suryaha. Even the celestial beings like Adityas and the Maharshis, who get deluded, bewildered by the sight of whom, by the presence of whom, by the contemplation of whom, even they are bewildered. Where are we? When we launch ourselves to get to the point of understanding Brahma, it's not that very clear. Many a times what I understand could be very different to what each one of us will understand here. Because we are all deluded. Like a Vishwarupa Darshana for Arjuna. Arjuna got a chance to witness Bhagavan live and direct. The Vishwarupa we say. But the first thing that Arjuna says when he is looking at Vishwarupa is, Mantamna Madhyamna Punastavadim Bhashyami Vishweshwara Vishwarupa. I am not able to see your beginning, end or the middle. He is looking at Bhagavan, he is not looking at Bhagavan. Unable to. So no matter, even if Bhagavan comes in front of us right now, there is no way we can grasp him completely. Right? So, looking at whom, even the celestial being like Surya, all the Adityas are Muhyanti, are Mohitas. They're all gone into their bewildered state. Let's contemplate. Tam satyam param dhimahi. Tejo vari mridam yatah vinimayo, yatah vinimayam. There are Pata Veda for this. Tejaha, all this light. Vari, the water. Mrida, the earth. Yatha vinimaya. From whom, around whom all of this converge. All the Panchabhutas will converge around whom? Tam satyam param dhimahi. Let's contemplate on that Bhagavan, towards whom all of this light merges, all of this water bodies merge, all of the land will converge. Yatra trisargo mrisha, and around whom all of the three types of sarga, three types of creation. Sarga means srishti. All the three types of sargas, again, three types of sargas are sthiti is also sarga, laya is also sarga, srishti is also sarga. So one way of understanding Trisarga is that Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, all three of them are creation. Like we have some years, I don't know if it's still there. We had this all-weather Voltasca AC. If it's rainy, it's going to do some dehumidification. If it's summer, it's going to pump some chillness into the room. If it's winter, it's going to blow some hot air into the room. Just make it a sedentary, constant weather condition to the room. At the face of it, it looks like there is sthiti happening. It's sthiti. But to maintain the sthiti, it has to create the chillness when needed. It has to create the heat when needed. It has to create the dehumidification when needed. So even sthiti is srishti in a way. Srishti is srishti directly. Laya is also srishti in a way, because how many of us make chilla or dosa at home? The minute the batter is poured onto the hot tawa, the batter is dead, laya, but the dosa is born. When the chameleon sheds the skin, when I grow up, I dye different phases as a balya, brahmacharya, Yauvana, then I get into the Grihastha. All of these earlier phases are dying as I grow up and getting born into newer phases. All the older. So Laya is also a Srishti in a way. Trisarga basically means that Srishti is a Srishti, Sarga. Sthiti is also a Srishti in a way, because maintenance doesn't happen without clipping. I can't maintain a plant without time to time pruning off the unnecessary twigs. I have to do that. So Trisarga can mean Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. All of them are Sarga. Trisarga can also mean three types of Guna Yukta Sarga. There is Sattva Sarga, there is Rajo Sarga, there is Tamo Sarga. Trisarga. Around whom all of this are Amrisha. They are all glowing around him. Let's contemplate. Tam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhakam. Dhamna, by his own radiance. Svena, by his own Dhamna, radiance. Sada, always. Nirastakuhakam. He's clipping all the illusions, the maya, the trickeries, the conceits. Tam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Bhagavata Purana in brief is this. We will hear from, if there are 12 skandhas, Bhagavata, there are nice descriptions given in some of the Sampradayaka Vyakhya explanations. Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam. They say Bhagavata Purana is basically the brief explanation to the Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras are in themselves explanation of the Vedas. Sutras are not line-to-line explanation. Sutras are sluchanat. They give you an impression of what the Vedas collectively are trying. It's not like these sutras are explaining Rig Veda, these sutras are Sama Veda. So, Brahma Sutras are Vyakhya, explanatory notes on the Vedas. And the commentaries on the Bhagavata say, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam. This Bhagavata Purana is an explanation to the Brahma Sutras. Bharatartha Vinirnayaha. Bharata is an itihasa.
And there is a Bharatartha also. There are so many people who write Vyakhya on the Bharata. But Vedavyasa himself has given certain, like for example, after the Kurukshetra war, Yudhishthira takes the Patabhisheka. That story, before they go to the Swargarohana, in the Bhagavata comes slightly differently. In the Bhagavata, before going to the Swargarohana, Yudhishthira goes to the same forest where Dhritarashtra, Kunti and Gandhari take refuge into. And he goes there and meets them and talks to them and seeks their blessings before the Swargarohana. That's the story we hear in the Bhagavata Purana. Whereas in Mahabharata, the actual itihasa, as is it happened. Before Yudhishthira goes to the forest, they are dead. Now this is a bhava, which means Yudhishthira was constantly contemplating on them and he met their bhava. He had an interaction with their bhava. He felt the presence where they were not physically present. So Bharatartha Vininanayaha. It's not giving me the itihasa, it's giving me some Bhagavat Avirbhava through extra call-outs of the itihasa grantha. So this grantha is Arthoyam Brahmasutranam, Bharatartha Vininanayaha, Gayatri Bhasha Ruposau. It is the Saksha Tadrupa of Gayatri Bhashya. Like Satyam Param Dhimahi, when we say Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat, we get the same feeling. There are people who break the same shloka, and not just this shloka, through the shloka, the entire Bhagavata Purana as a Vyakhya of the Gayatri Mantra. So there are Vyakhyas that call this Grantha as Gayatri Bhasha Rupa also Sakshat Bhagavatoditaha. This is Sakshat Bhagavata himself. This Grantha, if somebody can have a copy of Bhagavata Purana, treat it as Sakshat Krishna. The 11th Skanda, we are now Skanda, the ISKCON calls it as canto. First canto, second canto. We have an English word for this, thanks to ISKCON. But Ekadasha Skanda, the 11th canto, in that very beautiful story comes. Bhagavata Dharma, Uddhava. There is a character of Uddhava. He doesn't want to leave Krishna. He wants to cling on to Krishna. Krishna's advice, at some other point we can do a detailed contemplation on that. But Krishna's simple answer is, you can't have me, but have the Bhagavata. This is as good as me. So Bhagavata is Sakshat Bhagavatoditaha. Dvadasha Skanda Sanyuktaha. It has 12 skandha, 12 divisions, 12 boxes, 12 parts. Dvadasha Skanda Sanyuktaha, Shatavicheda Sanyutaha. There are, Shata is Purna. Shata can also be sometimes be countless. There are hundreds of variations. There are hundreds of different stories that come out. Shatavicheda Sanyutaha, Grantho Shtadasha Sahasraha. This Grantha has Ashtadasha Sahasra Stotras. 18,000 Stotras. 18 has a very special significance in, anybody knows what's the significance of the number 18? Anybody knows what's the significance of 18? 18. Number of Puranas, 18. Number of shlokas in Bhagavata Purana, 18,000. Number of chapters in Bhagavad Gita, 18. Number of parvas in Mahabharata, 18. The chapter of Balakanda, in which Sri Ramachandra is born, 18th chapter. 18 in the number system of the Hindu Katapayadi. We have something called the Katapayadi. Wherever, like for example, the value of pi, they won't write 3.1415926553. There is no way to codify that. It has to come as a sutra. The sutras are codified through letters. Each letter carries a numerical significance. Like ka, ta, pa, ya. Ka, ka, kha, ga, gha. Ta, 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 da, dha. Pa, 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 ba, bha. Ka, ta, pa, ya, yara, lava. Right? They are the first letters of the Vargiya and the Avargiya. Ka, ta, pa, ya. Kata, pa, ya, adi. They are the first. Which means if ka is first and ta is also first, then ka to nya, cha cha ja ja nya is 1 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, codification. So when we say that, what is Jaya? Mahabharata is called Jaya. What is Ja? Cha, cha, ja. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Cha, cha, ja. What is Ja? 8. What is Ya? Jaya. Ya, Yara, Lava. Ya is Adi. Ya is 1. What is Jaya? 8, 1. Ankanam Vamato Gadihi. The numbers are led backwards. Vamata, towards the left. 18. 18 means Jaya. Whenever we have Bhagavat Avatara coming down, it's called Jaya. That's why Ramavatara happens in the 18th chapter. Mahabharata has 18 parvas. Within those 18 parvas, Bhagavad Gita, which is a Sarabhuta, Saramsha of the Mahabharata, has 18 chapters. Bhagavata Purana is Grantaha Ashtadasha Sahasraha. Sahasra is Ananta Paripurna. It's complete. Sahasra doesn't just mean 1000 numerically. Dasha, Shata, Sahasra, they're all Purna Sanketa. They mean it's complete. Sahasra. So, Ashtadasha Sahasra. This is Jaya Sahasra. This is unlimited Jaya oriented Grantha. Ashtadasha Granto Ashtadasha Sahasra Vedartha Upabrumhitaha. This is also called. So there are different ways in which this Grantha is explained. Right? But in brief, this is the Grantha in which we contemplate on that Paramatma from whom all of this is emanated. In simple, that's the introduction to this Grantha. And we will study this Grantha. Little bit of this Grantha we will study. We will go through a small chapter which is 18 shlokas in length. One of the shortest chapters, because Bhagavata has a lot of Gitas. Like we have one Gita, the Gita called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavata Purana has plenty of them. There is Uddhava Gita, there is Bhikshu Gita, there is Hamsa Gita, there is Paramahamsa Gita, there is Sankarshana Gita, there is Venu Gita, Brahmara Gita, Gopi Gita. We will study something called the Gopi Gita. A little bit of it, little later. Gopi Gita is all about the Gopi Leela, the Gopikas Leela. We will hear about that. We will also try to learn how to chant it. It's a beautiful one. Because Bhagavata is not like a Itihasa Grantha. It's a scholastic work. The Padalalitya, the wordplay is brilliant. Like we could see this. These are not the type of shlokas we hear in Itihasa Granthas. These are the type of shlokas we see in some of the scholastic works. Mahakavyas. Right? Bhagavata stands as one of those Mahakavyas. But we have to do Satyam Tam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Let's contemplate on that Satya Para Dhimahi. Whenever somebody says, study this, like for example, I say, Dheeraj Bhaiya, study MBBS. What's the first question that comes? What is MBBS? We'll say, through this Bhagavata Grantha, now let's contemplate on Bhagavata, the Satyam Param Dhimahi, let's contemplate on Supreme Bhagavan. First question is, what is this Grantha? In our Shastrik Adhyayana, we have something called the Anubandha Chatushtaya. Has anybody heard that? Whenever we get down to any study, there are 4 things that we need to take care of. What is the subject? Kim Vishayam? Vishaya? Question mark. We have to understand what's the Vishaya. You study anything. First we need to understand what is that subject. What's the Vishaya? After understanding what is the Vishaya, what is the use of that subject? MBBS, okay, study MBBS, but what's the use of studying MBBS? Kim Prayojanam? Vishaya Prayojana. Okay. Can anybody study MBBS? No. There is adhikara, there is a qualification. In MBBS, +2, NEET, you need to get some certain cutoff, all of that. Get into interviews. So we have something called the adhikari. Who is an adhikari? Okay, and what's the correlation between this adhikari? In NEET and all, we blindly go with, okay, this is the entrance test. I pass this test, I can get into the medical college. But here we go one step further. What's the connection between the Vishaya, Sambandha and Adhikari? What's the Sambandha? What's the relationship between the Prayojana, the Vishaya and the Adhikari? What's the Sambandha? So, Vishaya, Prayojana, Adhikari, Sambandha. These four things together are called Anubandha Chatushtaya, Anusthana Chatushtaya, popularly called as Anubandha Chatushtaya. Whenever we have to get into any Shastra Grantha Adhyayana, we need to answer these four. What is this Grantha? What's the prayojana of this Grantha? Like Bhagavad Gita, some of us have studied Bhagavad Gita, chapter after chapter we will be reminded. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishatsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre. The Vishaya is called out in every of those Pushpika lines. This is Yoga Shastra. This is Yoga Shastra. That Vishaya has been drilled into every chapter. The last line of it. Here, what Bhagavan Vyasa, we call him Bhagavan Vyasa. Right? Bhagavan Vyasa, there is a reason why he came up with this. He's called Veda Vyasa. Because he had to protect the Veda. He did that. He protected the Vedas by separating them into 4 boxes. He protected Vedas by making Vedas more relatable through Itihasa. He made it even more fine-tuned with those 17 other Puranas. He further helped in terms of preservation of the Vedic wisdom by composing the Brahma Sutras. This one came last. This is his last composition. All the other Grantha, he gave it to Sumantu, Jaimini, Paila, Vaishampayana. This was given to his own Atmaja, Shuka Maharshi. He had to give. When something is so dear to you, this he composed because all the other Granthas are important. Vedas are eventually talking about Bhagavan. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Vedesha sarve rahameva vedya. But Bhagavan somewhere goes missing when we look at other Puranas, when we look at Mahabharata, when we look at the Brahma Sutra. Though it's Brahma Jijnasa Om, the way people get into study of Brahma Sutra is in a very atheistic sense. So he wanted to kind of up the bhakti quotient, really get the bhava, avirbhava of Bhagavan. This Grantha is about avirbhava of Bhagavan. That's what he explains. What kind of a Grantha is it? Do you want to try chanting this sloka? Again, Shardula Vikridita. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo.
Dharma prohita kaitavotra paramo.
Nirmatsaranam satam.
Nirvattasaranam satam.
Vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam.
Vedyam vastavam atra vastu sivadam.
Tapatrayon
Tapatro
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite
Kim Vapairaishvaraha
Kim Vapareira Ishvaraha
Sadyo Hridyavarudyate Kritibihi
Sadyo Hridde Avarudyate Tara Kritivi
Sushrushupistakshanat.
Sushru Vivastat
So
Kasada.
this is the Grantha. Here he explains, Vyasa Maharshi, very beautifully. The concept of Anubandha Chatushtayam could have come much, much later. But Bhagavan Vyasa offers that upfront. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. This is Dharma Grantha. This is Dharma. What kind of a Dharma? Projita kaitavaha. Kaitava means corruption. Projita means uprooted corruption. Corruptionless dharma. Paramaha dharma. This is Parama dharma. Projita kaitavaha. This is the ultimate dharma which is devoid of any bit of corruption. And who should study this? Nirmatsaranam satam. Only Satvika people and Nirmatsara people should be able to qualify. Who is the Adhikari? He is mentioning that. Vedyam, this is understandable. Kim prayojanam, right? What's the use of this? This is Vedyam, Vastavam, Atra, Vastu Shivadam, Tapatraya Unmoolanam. This is easily graspable. This is touchy-feely. You can actually relate to Vastavam, Atra, Vastu Shivadam. This is Mangalyakara. Shivadam means, Shiva means Shubha. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Shiva means Shubha. Bhagavan Shiva also gets the name Shubha because we call him as Rudra Deva, Pralayantaka, but his Pralaya in the Bhagavad Gita he is called as Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. He brings in that Sham feeling, he brings in that calmness. His Laya dance is not for absolute destruction. The destruction is like the dosa. At the end of the destruction, there is joy. There is lot of utility there. He is that Sham Karoti iti Shankaraha. So Shivadam is the Grantha's name, though Shiva is also Shubhakara, Mangalakara, right? Shivadam, this is Mangalakara Grantha. Tapatraya Unmoolam. There are three types of tapa, right? There is a Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adhyatma, kind of tapa, all the difficulties. Unmoolanam, they will be uprooted. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Parairishvaraha. When you get into this Srimad Bhagavata, which is created by this Mahamuni called Vedavyasa, Kimba Parairishvaraha, where there can be another God. Satyo Hrudya Varudhyate. Very swiftly, very quickly, Sadhya Eva, Hridi Avarudhyate. Within the heart will be settled. Within the heart will be the complete condensation. Atra Kritibihi or Sukritibihi by the doers of good deed. Again, Sukritibihi, Kritibihi are also the adhikaris. Shushrushubihi, Shushrushu. What is Shushrushu? Shushrusha. We call it as Sevaka. Sevakas are called Shushrusha. Shushrushu basically means Shrotum Ichuhu. Shushrushuhu. One who's keen on listening. When the wife is calling husband, Suniye ji, she doesn't want husband to just listen. Do as I say. The command is coming. Aji Suniye, when that line comes, there is a command coming. You better follow my command. It's not just listen or hear. Listening basically means do as I say. Shushrushu, like when we become Guru Shushrushu, it's not just listening to the Guru, doing as the Guru says. Those people who are complete surrendered, prapatti oriented, surrendered people who are keen on Shushrushu, right? Keen on listening and taking up the command and doing whatever. Tatkshanat avarudhyate. Immediately the Bhagavad Avirbhava will happen in their heart. For those people who are Sukritibihi, Sushrushabihi, who are Nirmatsaranam, Satam, Satvika people, Avirbhava of Bhagavan will happen immediately, leading us to the path of Paramadharma, which is Kaitava Projita, devoid of any kind of a corruption. In the Satsanga, we will see that Dharma, Nirmatsara Dharma will be properly witnessed in Satsanga. There is no ill feeling between people. We all are winners. That is the whole essence of Bhagavata Dharma. 18,000 shlokas. Today is also 18th. Coincidentally, today is 18th day. Though we don't normally give too much of significance to the English calendar, it feels nice to see that coincidence. So today, in this nice occasion, maybe we have another 45 minutes or so, we will have as much as possible Avirbhava, getting into the, because this Grantha has so many things, so many Gitas are there. There are so many magical healing parts of Bhagavata Purana. Like somebody says that if you really want to overcome death, Gajendra Moksha, there is a part that comes as Gajendra Moksha. There is a part called Narayana Varma, Narayana Kavacha, some people call it, right? Narayana Varma, which is basically out here to protect us in all kind of difficulties. For overcoming the fear of death, there is Gajendra Moksha. For overcoming all troubles, there is Narayana Varma. There are different parts of the Bhagavata Purana. For increasing our Tattva Jnana, the entire third skanda, amazing study for the Tattva Jnana. For complete Vairagya, Bhagavad Dharma, Uddhava Gita, the complete Ekadasha Skanda. Within that chapter 7, 8, 9, Avadhuta Gita is even more brilliant to increase that Vairagya feeling. So this Bhagavata Purana, within this 18,000 shlokas, there are many small sections where there are so many benefits that are thrown out to us. One of them is Gopi Gita. Anybody, the paramparic belief is that people who are keen on getting married do the Shravana Kirtana of Gopi Gita for X number of days, typically 48 days. You will have in certain way, starting from a Purnima and go on for about 48 days, you have some benefit. That's the belief. But nonetheless, Gopi Gita is very special because the gopis had a Ras Leela with Bhagavan. At the time of this Ras Leela, what's Bhagavan's age at that time? Anybody has a guess? 8 years old. The 8th Sharat Chandra of Krishna's Bhuloka Prayana, right? On his existence here, the 8th Ashvayuja Masa. Not more than that. And how many gopis were there? About 16,000. And who are these gopis? The gopis are part of the Vraja society. They're all part of the same Vraj Bhumi. Vrindavan, we call it today is Vrindavan. That's the Vraj Bhumi. What were they? They were basically Mahajnanis. They were all children of Agni Devata, all sons of Agni Devata. In this Janma, they came as 3. And what did they have? They had this in our traditional moksha. We shouldn't call it as moksha. Bhagavata Purana also mentions that there is a special yoga. There is something called the Salokya yoga. Some people call it as mukti. Salokya mukti, Samipya mukti, Sarupya mukti, Sayujya mukti. But these are basically yoga. Salokya yoga, Samipya or Sanidhya yoga, Sarupya yoga, and Sayujya. Basically means how can we feel the oneness with Bhagavan? Salokya means being in the Bhagavad Loka, which means we will all our avalokana, all our way of conducting our life is according to Bhagavad Dharma. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan calls that Salokya as Sadharmya, playing as per Bhagavad rules and regulations. Right? Salokya is Sadharmya. Then comes Samipya, staying close to Bhagavan. Like in Hyderabad, thanks to this committee, before this happened, our only go-to channel to witness Rath Yatra is Puri Jagannath Temple, Banjara Hills. Now we have Samipya Yoga. Bhagavan is right here. Now, gopis had this Samipya Yoga of Bhagavan. They were all born in Vraja. They were all born in Vrindavana. They had the same Samipya Yoga. Obviously, that will give them some pride. Because Bhagavan, after that Vastrapaharan kind of a story, he gave them the vara that I will have Ras Leela with you. So this Sharat, the 8th year of his life in the Bhumi, he decided, okay, I will grant the wish for all my bhaktas, for all the gopis, and he gave it. So they had the Ras Leela. During the course of this Ras Leela, these people had a swelled up pride, all the gopis. And that happens. Chine punye martyalokam vishanti. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, no matter who the high standing celestial being also be it, natadasti prithivyam va divideveshu vapunaha. There is not a single person who will not have this downfall. Forget about mortals like us, lesser mortals like us. Even among the divideveshu va, even among the celestial beings also, they will have a patana. All these sons of Agni Deva, who are in the form of Gopi, also despite that mortal birth, they had that Samipya Yoga to be with Krishna. They got into their head. The pride got into their head. The toxic pride got into their head. We are close to Krishna. Krishna likes us. We are doing, like we have this, do seva of Bhagavan. Who are we to do seva of Bhagavan? One puja offering we do, I give Pravachana to Bhagavan. Who am I to give Pravachana to Bhagavan? It's my grace, it's my good luck that I get a chance to speak like this, where Bhagavan is also an audience. But we get into this swelling pride. Oh, I did this. Bhagavan, for your Rath Yatra, I gave this Pravachana. Gopis had that Samipya Yoga driven pride. This is Vedartha Paribramhitaha. Bhagavata Purana is Vedartha Paribramhitaha. It gives us, in the Panchama Mandala Rigveda, there is a mantra. Edhamana Dvit. Whenever there is a Adhika Mana of humans, he will clip it. Like there is a constant question that comes. Why did Yudhishthira, Pandavas, Kunti had to repeatedly get resigned to the forest? Like Kunti, when we see Kunti, she goes so many times. Why did they were just ruling one small kingdom called Indraprastha? Why did they have to face this? Why did Krishna let all of this happen? Edhamana Dvit. When there is Adhika Mana getting swelled up, there is a clipping job that Bhagavan does finally. Now, that clipping worked with Pandavas because their ayogyata is only limited. That could be corrected. So here, couple of chapters before the Gopi Gita begins, they had the Ras Leela and they got into the pride, and one of them, which many people say is Radharani, one of them disappeared for a long time. And she got into the feeling where without her, Krishna cannot do anything. Krishna cannot enjoy anything. That's the time Krishna dropped the ball. He just disappeared. Edhamana Dvit. When there is Adhikamana, clip. He did that. Then these, like 4 years ago, we were all crying hoarse. Bhagavan, do this to me. Bhagavan, do that to me. Because we were gripping with fear. When the corona hit the society, we were all gripping with fear. Today, none of us remember any bit of what commitment we would have given to Bhagavan. When things are hunky-dory, we just forget his presence. Their pride was that. So this Gopi Gita is that Viraha-driven song of the gopis when Krishna just disappeared from their side on that Sharad Purnima night. This is Viraha-driven song. This is for us to contemplate. If those celestial beings called gopis. Now gopis are not just three. In Samskrita, one thing we need to understand, Purusha is all of us. Because anybody has a Pura. This body is a Pura. Ashtachakra, Navadvara, Devanam Pura, Ayodhya. There are Vedic mantras that call the body as a Pura comprising of Ashtachakra. We have that Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, like all the 8 chakras, including the Bindu, one behind. Like Sahasrara, one behind, 8th one. There are Ashtachakra, Navadvara, there are 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 1 mouth. So Guda, all of this, there are Navadvara. There are transactions that we do constantly with the 9 dwaras. This body itself is Pura. Anybody who dwells in the Pura, Pure Shete Purushaha. If there is a soul, Atma, residing in any body, that's a Purusha. It's not Stri. Of course, in the local transactional language, we say Stri Purusha. Similarly, in a higher Tattva, as much as everybody is Purusha, in that higher Tattva, when it comes to the Purushottama, under his guidance, all of us are Stris. We are here to serve him. My body is for him. All of us are gopis. That's why we come up with the gopi. Gopi Chandana Papagna. All this gopi comes from a place in Gujarat called the Gopi Talab. Right there, the dance happened. Right? We all, do you call it gopi? Yeah. All of us wear gopi because for Bhagavan, all of us are gopikas. So Purushas, we all are. Gopikas, we all are. The real Gopikas were the sons of Agni, those 16,000 people who came down, descended down to overcome their papa. They were all ultimate jnanis. Now Gopi Gita comes, right? Very beautiful one. There are contemplation of this that happen in many, this is a meter called Kanaka Manjari, right? Kanaka Manjari, like if you go to Sharanamayappa temple in South Kerala, there is a Ayyappa temple. The sleep time, Harivarasaram, that comes in the same tune, same dhati. There are many South films also, songs also in the same tune. This can be sung in many, different ways. Like for inner contemplation, we can count it as Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Vrajah Shrayata Indira Shadhu Tatrahi or Shashwadatrahi. There are Patabeda, there are version changes. Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Vrajah Shrayata Indira Shashwadatrahi Daita Drishyatam Dikshutavakas Tvayigat Tvaidhrita savastvam vichinvate. So there can be one way of chanting where we do inner contemplation, or sometimes we also involve ourselves in the public. In the public, we need to do the dandiya gadba kind of a dance, right? Like sometime back during December, we had this, what do you call that? Some show. There is some clubbing, bhajan clubbing. We had a bhajan clubbing that was organized in the same place. After a point in time, it became just dandiya. Now, dandiya, that is a sampradaya we have in our country, right? Also is associated with Gopi Gita, associated with Rasa Leela. Right? So, Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Vrajaha Shrayata Indira Shashvadatrai Daita Drishyatam Dikshutavakas Tvaidhrita Savas Tvam Vichinvate. We can imagine the Gadva beats. Jayati Tedhikam. And then there are different groups that also add some more masala to it. After every line, just the chorus. Krishna. Can I try that? Jayati Tedhikam Krishna. Janmana Vrajaha Krishna. Shrayata Indira Krishna. Sadhu Tatrahi or Shashvadatrahi Krishna. Daita Drishyatam Krishna. Shout. Jayati Tedhikam Krishna.
Krishna.
Jayati Tedhikam Krishna.
Krishna.
Janmana Vrajaha Krishna.
Krishna.
Shrayata Indira Krishna.
Krishna.
Soon, don't wait for me to say Krishna. Soon after that, Jayati Tedhikam Krishna. Immediately. Jayati Tedhikam Krishna. Janmana Vrajaha Shrayata Indira Sadhu Tatrahi Krishna. Daita Drishyatam Krishna. Dikshutavakas Tvaidhrita Savas Tvam Vichinvate. Krishna, keep chanting. Krishna is difficult right now. What we'll do is, after I chant, repeat after I do. The same line. Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Vrajaha Shrayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Daita Drishyatam Dikshutavakas Tvaidhrita Savas Tvam Vichinvate Sharadudashaye Sadhu Jata Sat Sarasi Jodara Shri Mushadrisha Suratanathate Ashulkadasika Varadanignato Neha Kimvadha. This is such a beautiful poetry. In fact, we can make it our anthem for the Garba. All of us chanting in chorus. Anybody Telugu speaker here? Any Telugu speaker here? Telugu. In Telugu, in Kannada, my mother tongue is Kannada. Not mother tongue, but I come from Karnataka. Prasa, rhyme, is naturally the second letter. The second letter is the prasa. Harikatamrtasara Gurugala Karunadinda Panitu Peluve Parama Bhagavad Bhaktaridanadharadi Keluvudu Rarara Shri Ramanikara Kamala Pujita Charu Charana. So Ra. The second letter is typically the Prostisha Vigraha Sunishtevano Tatavi Sishtambuchari Jalade Preshtantara. So Shta. In South, at least in Karnataka and in Andhra, in Telugu speaking world, prasa, the rhyme is typically the second letter. That's exactly what we notice here. Jayati te, Jaya. Ya is the second letter. Jayati te dhikam janmana vraja shrayata ya. Shrayata indira sadhu tatrahi. Dayita ya. Dayita drishyatam vikshutavakas Tvayi dhritasavastvam vichinvate. Yeah. See the poetic beauty. The second letter is the prasa. And the first letter and the seventh letter are also prasa. Jayati Tedikam Janmana Vraja. Seven is ja, ja, ja. First and the seventh. It's a it's called Kanaka Manjari. Very beautiful meter. We can chant it like Jayati Tedikam Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Sadhu Tatrai. Taita Drushatam Dikshutavakas Tvaidrutatavastvam Vichinvate. Sharadudashaye Sadhu Jatasa Sarati Jodara. Shri Mushadrusha Suratanatate Shulkadasika Varada Nignato Neha Kimbata. This is for our internal contemplation. When we contemplate this for our own personal space, we do this. But in the group, we chant like a chorus. So have a thought around the prasa, the padalalitya of that. Let's again chant. Oh, we don't have time to do so much of chanting. We will quickly run through this. What the Gopyaha Uchuhu? The gopis in Bahuvachana, Gopya is Bahuvachana of Gopi. Gopis are telling now. Whom are they telling? Krishna, who is unseen. Gopya Uchu. They are telling, Jayati te adhikam janmana vrajaha. Te janmana, O Krishna, te janmana vrajaha adhikam jayati. O Krishna, by your birth, Vraja has become great. Today, all our real estate prices are like that. They are telling, especially the real estate price of Vraja has shot up because of your birth. Because Krishna is here, Vraja has become really rich. Shrayata Indira Shashwadatrahi. Indira is residing here, Shashwat, permanently. He indeed. Indira Mata, Lakshmi Devi, Mahalakshmi is residing here because of your Janma. In that viraha, they have come to the contemplation what they have done in their swelling pride. Oh Krishna, whatever we are is because of you. Whatever little extra value we got is because of you. It's because of your birth that Vraja has increased its market value. Our own Indira Mata, Indira Devi is residing here permanently. Shashwat Atra Shrayata. She is staying here permanently because of you. Daita Drishyatam Dikshutavakas. Oh Daita, oh Daya Karunalu. Please show your Daya now. Drishyatam, show yourself, reveal yourself. Because he's gone hiding. These guys had the swelling pride. Edhamana Dvit. Daita, oh Dayalu, Drishyatam. Dikshu, from all directions, from any direction. Tavakaha, your. Tvayi dhritasavaha. Asavaha, asu is prana. Dhritasavaha is people having that determined prana. Bated breath, we say, right? With the bated breaths. Dhritasavaha, tvam vichinvate. We are just looking for you here and there. That's what the first sloka is telling. Oh Krishna, this Vraja, whatever importance is because of your birth. Lakshmi is residing here. Please reveal us. We are looking for you constantly. Sharadudashaye. Sharad, this Raslila happened on the Sharad Purnima. We have to remember that. What's the importance of Sharad Purnima? Why is it so beautiful? What's the significance of Sharad Purnima? Has anybody noticed the moon in the Sharad Purnima? Tried? Does it look better? Why? Next time when you see the Sharad Purnima, focus a little bit on the sky. It's the darkest. The sky is the darkest we can see the entire year. Naturally, the reflection of that sky on the pond is also dark. Other time you will see some blue hue, brown hue, different hues. But Sharad Purnima day, the two Sharad Purnimas, right? Both the Purnimas, when we see the sky, it's pitch dark. Sharad Udashaye, in the pond of Sharad Purnima, Sadhu, beautiful, Jata, born, Sat Sarajija, good lotus, Udara, the Karnika, right? The whole, whatever we call it, the Karnika, the central part, Udara, Shri Mushadrisha, Your sides are exceeding the beauty of this. So the center part of the lotus is supposed to be extremely beautiful in Sharat Kala, especially on the Purnima night. You are even more beautiful than that. Suratanatha, oh, the Lord of the love, te ashulka dasika. Some Patabeda call it as te shulka dasika or te ashulka dasika. Shulka dasika means we are your chiller dasikas. Become cheap. Or ashulka dasikas become free. Either ways, it gives the same bhava. Ashulka dasika or shulka dasika means we are cheap dasis for you. Ashulka dasikas are Ashulka dasikas are we are free dasis for you. Shulka dasikas means we are cheap dasis for you. But nonetheless, we are cheap. Right? We are Varada. They again contemplation, getting into the realization. You are the one who Varam Dadati. Varada means Varam Dadati the Varada. Vara is boon. Vara means greatness. Varenyam. Tat Savituhu Varenyam. Tat Varenyam Savituhu Dhimahi, we say. In the Gayatri, we contemplate on the great Savitra. Varenya means great. Vara means great. Vara means also means boon. Because boons are supposed to give us the material greatness. Right? So, Varada, you are the one who gives the Vara, and Nignataha, you are the one who also clips that. They get in the realization. See the contemplation of the gopis. This is what our learning from the Gopi Gita is. Varada, Nignataha Varadaha, he is. The one who is clipping that kind of a Varada, Neha Kim Vadaha, is this not murder? We are getting completely bewildered. You have overtaken us like the holes of this lotus, completely snubbed us. Isn't this murder? We are completely deluded without your sight. You are the one who grants us the boon. You are the one who is abducting it, snatching it away. Isn't this murder? Neha kim vadaha, na iha kim vadaha. Is this not a murder? Oh Krishna. They are all lamenting. Right? Let's go to the next one. We will chant after I do. This is visible, right? Vishajalapyayad Vyalarakshasad Varshamarutat Vaidyutanalat Vrishamayatmajat Vishvatobhayat Rushabhate Vayam Rakshitamuhu Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhava Akhila Dehinam Antaratmadrik Vikhanasarthito Vishwaguptaye Sakha Udeyivan Satvatam Kule Krishna. Nice way of chanting this is after every Nakalu Gopika Krishna Tano Bhava Krishna Akila Dehina Krishna Antaratmadrik Krishna Vikhana Sarthito Krishna Vishwaguptaye Sakha Udeyivan Krishna Satvatam Kule. In the live mode, reverberatory mode, we add that Krishna Krishna chorus. Because more number of times we call Krishna, it's good. Every time. Because that's what they are doing. They are not calling him Krishna, but Te Janmana Jaya Vrajaha Adikam Jayati O Krishna. That's implied. Now they say, they are now remembering his Leelas. Young boy, 8-year-old boy. He's just Ashwayuja. A month ago was his birthday. Shravana, Krishna, Ashtami. A month ago, he just completed 8. He's not even 8 as in 8.5. Just barely 8-year-old. And that young age, he's done so many leelas. He's already displayed so many leelas. And they are remembering that. What kind of a guy have we taken for granted? What kind of a Bhagavan character that was right here, we have taken for granted. What did he do? Vishajalapyayat vayam rakshita. That vayam rakshita, the last line, is the constant thing. Hey Rishabha, oh, Rishabha means the foremost. Mesha, Rishabha, Mithuna. Rishabha is among the foremost of the constellation. Rishabha, like Purusharashabha, like Rishabha, like Maharshabha, Maharshi, Rishabha, no, all of them, they're not bull among the rishis or bull among the men. They are foremost among the men. The bhava we have to get is not literal translation. Bhava is whenever we say Rishabha, we shouldn't call a bull. You call, oh, foremost among the beings. Right? Oh, Rishabha, te, because of you, vayam, vishajalapyayad rakshita, vyala rakshasad rakshita, varshamarutad rakshita, vaidyutanalad rakshita, vrishamayatmajad rakshita, vishvatobhayat rakshita. We are protected by you from different things. From Vishajalapya, from the Vishabharita Yamuna Nadi, they say that when Kaliya Naga was there, not just the water, even the air coming from that water was also equally poisonous. Such a poisonous snake. He killed him. Not only killed him, he cleansed the water. Krishna, after killing Naga, the Kaliya, he also cleansed the water. So, Vishajalapyat vayam rakshita. Vyala rakshasa, Vyala means snake. Vyala raksha is, of course, Kaliya Naga. From him we are protected. But there is also an Aghasura, the guy who opens up his entire mouth, takes the entire Gopi clan. You protected us from him, and they were all there. And all these things happened as a small boy's pastimes, right? Varshamarutad vayam rakshita. Varshamarutad is from that Trinavarta, through his the fury of the rain. Varshamarutad vayam rakshita. Vaidyutanalad, from the Indra Vajra. From that, again, the thunderbolt which caused the rain, the Govardhanagiri episode, from that we were protected. Vrishamayatmajad. There is a Arishti, there is a Arishti Asura, there is a bull kind of Asura. From him we were protected. Vishvato Bhaya, from all different other impediments from this universal side, we were protected. Again and again, Muhuhu, Muhuhu, Vayam Rakshita. They are contemplating them. And soon after contemplating on those leelas of Bhagavan, then they come to the realization, Nakhalu Gopika Nandana Bhavan. You are not just Gopika Nandana. You are not just Yashamati Nandana. Akhila Dehinam Antaratmadraka. You are the Antaratmadraka. You are the inner dwelling soul, Atma, in every Akhila Deha. Akhila Deha means Nikhila. In all the living beings, you are the Antaratma. In the Upanishads, we hear that. In the Bhagavata also, when we go later, we talk about the two sparrows inside the body. Dva Suparno, Sadrisho, Sakhayo. Right? There are two sparrows that give back to each other. One is the Atma, one is the Paramatma. So Paramatma is dwelling inside all of us. Akhila Dehinam Antaratma, you are Bhavan. Vikhanasa Artitaha, Architaha, Artitaha, Patabeda. Vikhanasa is Brahmadeva. Khanana is digging, breaking, smashing. Khanana. Khanana. Vigata Khanana. There is no breaking of Brahmadeva. Chaturmukha Brahma cannot be broken. So he is called Vikhanasa. Vikhanasa, from him, Artita. This is the Dashama Skanda. Gopi Gita comes in the Dashama Skanda, 10th canto. That's the English word. Right? In the Bhagavata, the way we have to imagine there are 9 forms of bhakti that comes before the Dashama Skanda. Throughout, the conversation is happening between Shuka Maharshi and Parikshita Maharaja. Parikshita Maharaja is only asking one thing. Tell me about Krishna's Leelas. But no, we hear about creation, we hear about all avatars, we hear about tattvas, we hear about Krita Yuga, some war between, we hear Prahalada Charitra, Dhruva Charitra. Whenever we have to know more about Bhagavan, it's very important to know the bhaktas. 3 days ago, how many of us pulled the chariot? How many of us? So who comes first, Bhagavan or Bhaktas? Bhaktas. This is also a chariot. Bhagavata is also a chariot. The Bhaktas, the Leelas of the Bhaktas come. Dhruva, Bali, Prahlada, Gajendra, all of them. And Navamida. Before the Dashama Skanda, there are Navamida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. There are 9 forms of Bhakti. Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyamatma Nivedanam. There are 9 different forms of Bhakti. Navada Bhakti we call it. Each skanda can be imagined to be one form of Bhakti. Each skanda preceding to Dashama Skanda can be the part like Janmadhyaseta. The first skanda can be the feet. Then comes the calf muscles. Then comes the knee. Slowly. By the time we come to the Dashama Skanda, we look at the Bhagavan's face. We have come that the beginning of the Dashama Skandha and Bhagavan's face is very important. When we go there, contemplate, how many of us look at his face and how many of us look at his feet? When we look at his face, we get the guarantee that he is looking at us. We look at his feet in terms of extreme distress. But when we want the assurance that he is also looking at us, we look at his face. This skandha is that mirror effect. We look at his face. Dashama Skanda is his face. At the beginning of the Dashama Skanda, Brahmadeva comes with his complete battalion. Aditya, Rudra, Indra, Chandra, everyone is coming. Vikanasa Artitaha, Architaha. Being prayed by Vikasana, you have taken these gopis now come to that realization. In that Viraha Vedana, they can get into the realization. The same gopis who were swelling with pride, extreme pride, to the level of looking at Bhagavan as a yatkinchit padartha. They get into the realization. Vikanasa Artitaha, Bhavan, Vishwaguptaye, for the protection of this Vishwa, for the protection of this. Bhagavan says that in the Bhagavad Gita. Dharma samsthapanarthaya, paritranaya sadhunam, Dharma samsthapanarthaya, yuge yuge sambhavami. He says that. So, Vishwaguptaye, Bhavan, Sattvatam Kule, Udeyivan. You have taken birth in Sattvata Kula. Sattvata, Varshneya, Dasharaha. There are about 10-11 different Yadukulas. Yadavas, we call them as one single bunch, but there are multiple subsects within that. Sattvata, that's Nandagopa. Nandagopa's family is part of Sattvata Kula. Varshneya, Dasharaha, there are different other clans also. We hear about some of them also. When we go more into the Ekadasha Skanda and all, we hear about many more such Kula of Yadukula. Saka Ude, oh Saka, oh my friend. Okay, you are not just the son of Yashoda Maya. You are not just Yashamati Nandana. You are the Antaratmadrika of Akila Dehas, of all the Dehas. You have taken birth for the sake of protection of this Vishwa, being requested, being preyed upon by Brahmadeva and his battalion of all the Surendras. The gopis are now coming to that realization. They are not ajnanis, it's not blind bhakti, they are jnanis. Very clear-cut explanation. We have to conclude now. Do we adjourn, continue some other time, or can we have another session? If that is the case, we will just chant one line. We'll come to the last part. We'll just chant that. Because 18 shlokas are in the Kanaka Manjari Vritta. The 19 shlokas takes a little different because the theme will be like a summary. The Gopi Gita is only 18 shlokas, that Kanaka Manjari. So we'll just chant that last one and then we will adjourn for today. Harihi Om. Vrajavanaukasam Vyaktirangate Vrijinahantralam Vishwamangalam Tyajamanachanas Tvatprihatmanam Swajana Hridrujam Yannishodanam. Now, this is Kanaka Manjari, very simple. The last shloka, which is not part of Gopi Gita but just an extension, it gets into a different tune. The meter is something called Vasanta Tilaka. Vasanta is again very important. Tilaka is also both are very important things for Bhagavan. The break is 8 plus 6. We have the Brahma Samhita. What is that? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham 8. Tamaham Namami Bhajami, whatever. 8 plus 6. Anybody who understands have heard the Suprabhata, very famous. Sri Venkatachalapate 8. Tava Suprabhatam 6. So 8 plus 6. The break is 8 plus 6. So here also. Yatte Sujata Charanam Charanam Buruham Staneshu Bhita Shanai Priyadhadim Nadim Ahikar Kasheshu Tenatavi Matasitad Vyatatena Kimsvet Kurpadibhir Brahmatibhir Bhavadayusham Naha. This is how it goes. Yatte Sujata Charanam Buruham Staneshu. We join it together, but the yati, the silent yati, the line break happens after 8. It makes it easier for us to chant. Yatte Sujata Charanam Buruham Staneshu. You want to repeat that? Possible? Yatte Sujata Charanam Buruham Staneshu. Bhita Shanai Priyadadhi Mahikar Kasheshu. Tenatavi Matasitad Yathatena Kimsvet. Kurpadibhir Brahmatidhir Bhavadayusham Naha. Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana Manasarasvava Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayati Samarpayami. I thank each one of you for being part of this. Through this, I gain a lot of Atma Shuddhi for having given me a chance to be here and express my small bit of understanding of Gopi Gita. Hopefully, we will continue this journey some other day. We will pause now. I think we took a little more time in the introduction, but we'll directly jump into Gopi Gita the next time we'll meet. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath. We sincerely thank Srinivas Garu and all our guests here who have participated here. And we look forward to another session. We'll do it in the next week sometime. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.